Hi everyone, my name is Dana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about sits, fronts, get-ins, and finishes. What's the difference and why they are important and how to train them. So starting off, for me a sit is I say, Emma, sit. And she can sit wherever she wants. That's my you do your thing, you sit, what a good sit, good job. When I ask for Emma, front. Fix it. And I have to be a little strict with my fronts because for competitions, she can't be doing any of this crooked nonsense. So I'm just going to keep her moving. I'm going to make her making a mistake inconvenient for her. Good front. That one's a lot better. So then she gets a treat for that. Wow, so if she just lined up with me all along, she would have gotten it. Also, I'm sorry, the audio quality isn't great. The birds are singing. I can't help that. I don't have a microphone, blah, blah, blah. So this is a front, and how we train it is we have treats in both hands and we lure the dog to us. This is helpful because if you're ever in a stressful situation, getting your dog to sit in front of you, facing towards you and away from the distracting things, will really set you up for success in the terms of keeping your dog engaged with you. It is a lot more difficult to keep a dog that is here, facing something distracting, engaged with you. And if someone is approaching you who you don't want saying hi to your dog, doing this really helps them ignore the, oh, puppy, 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 oh my gosh, it's a puppy. Look at, she loves the puppy voice, not even wagging her tail because she's focused on getting a treat from my hand. That's what we want. So just practice that lure. When the dog does it, wow, what a good front, you did it. You don't have to give treats with both hands, but keep your hands close together so the dog doesn't favor a side. Then after that is get-ins and finishes. Both of them, you end up in the same space. One of them I use for competition, the finish I use for competition, get-in I use for everyday life. But if you have a longer bodied dog, teaching a finish might be more beneficial for them. But I use my get-in to start off as a team. Having my dog get in and sit in the heel position, and we start and we finish here, is super important for stays. Having your dog here, and then that way you can just walk away and you don't have to maneuver around them. Really helps keep your dog in the place you want them to be. Starting the walk off as a team. All right, let's go. There's your dog right with you, right at your side. It really helps out in that way. And at the end of the walk, having your dog end here, having them always sit and look at you whenever you stop walking, that is another important thing too. Because if you ever do go for a walk and someone goes, oh my gosh, hi, how are you today? You stop and you know your dog is trained to just stop and wait until you re-engage and go away again. That's what I want eventually. I don't want a dog who's tying you up in knots. I don't want a dog who's, oh my gosh, what's that over there? What's that over there? Oh my gosh, say hi to me, woo, 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 and pulling you everywhere. I don't want that. I want a dog who knows I stop and I sit and it's good. And you can just go give them treats while they're sitting here to passively reward them. So how I taught my get-in, Emma, you can see I use treats as lures. So make sure your dog can follow a lure. I recommend using a soft treat that your dog gets rewarded and gets bites off of for following. So you see she's getting little pieces of this treat for following this lure. And once the dog does that, oops, you can get it. It slipped out of my hand. Then from there, Emma, you lure them in a teardrop shape, and she knows this, so it's a little difficult. But basically, you draw a teardrop, and then the dog ends up at your side. If you compete or want to compete, I recommend having your heel position be on your left side. If you don't intend on competing, there really is no wrong or right reason to use either side. Use the side you prefer. There's a lot of people who say, no, it has to be this way. Do what's easiest for you. Do what's easiest for you to remember. It works really well for me because I'm left-handed. But if you're right-handed, this can be a little bit trickier to be doing all this stuff with your left hand. The other thing I was saying is the finish. I say finish because in a competition, that's what the judge kind of says, so it helps me remember. But you lure with two treats at the same time the dog goes around. So you start here, have your other hand behind you ready, lure the dog to this one, switch off, make sure they're engaged with this new treat, and lure them at your side. This, like I said, it's easier for longer bodied dogs, but in a competition, it's a little bit easier for the dog to finish and get lined up with me as opposed to a front, where I say this. See how she always either does it too much or too little? That's why I use this for day-to-day life, and then finish is just for competitions. Finish. Emma, finish. There we go, very nice. That one's a little bit cleaner. But both of these are just getting my dog into the heel position. And like I said, it's good for, your dog needs to know and have an idea of this before we do any leaving the dog stays. Because if the dog only knows front, I don't want you to then have to maneuver around the dog. See, she's already, I'm not obviously asking her to do anything, but she's trying to stay engaged with me. She's like, what the heck's going on? So Emma, front. I can tell her wait, and she will, because I've worked on this. But when you're teaching your dog to stay, Emma, get it? It's a lot easier to set them up for success by minimal movement around the dog. And obviously, when you're first practicing, we're not leaving, and then fronts are important. But then I want you to see if you can get your dog to stay at the side. I want to see if you can move around your dog and things like that. And then once you can do that, then I want you to leave your dog. And it's a lot easier for a dog to stay if you're not sending them the confusing signals. See, I even just go like this. She goes, oh, you're calling me. She already knows what's happening. And that's all, you know, it's confusing body language. We want our body language for a stay to be completely different than a recall. So this is kind of the first step towards stays as well. With that being said, that's kind of my crash course on all three. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Or if you want me to do a deeper dive into one of these commands, let me know and I will. But that being said, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!